And hello and welcome to another Xterra video where I work on my truck. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. And on today's video I'm gonna be installing my oil catch cans on my truck. But not just one, I'm gonna be installing two of them. So now that I have a different air intake over here, I have more space over here, which was my plan, because that's where I'm planning to put my catch cans, both of them. I've seen a lot of people, they put in just one catch can, which is fine. But if you're doing any off-roading, any towing, or any intense use of an engine, I would recommend to put two of them. And another thing, I also saw this, one of my friends has it. Actually, the one that helped me to build my rear bumper, he has a lot of fabrication and he does a lot of stuff. I'm gonna leave a link to his Instagram, so go check him out. So that's where I got the idea to put two catch cans instead of one. Now, one of the Viesyled lines that mostly people use is this one. They disconnect this line, just trace it down where it goes, and that's where you can connect your first catch can. But this is actually the second place where we can put our catch can. It's not always used, only when the engine is under a lot of stress, you may say. But if you're doing off-roading or something, I would recommend to put one here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to see what kind of bracket I can build to mount the catch cans over here, and that's where we're gonna route all the cables. So let me get on that. Now I picked up these two brackets, and my idea is to make these holes bigger and make two holes over here for the catch can, and this is gonna be mounted just like that over here, and that should be perfect for my catch cans in here. So let me drill some holes and we're gonna see how I'm gonna mount this. So now I'm gonna take this bracket off just to align over here properly, mark another hole and drill it. Now before installing these cans, I would recommend to clean it inside because it might have some dirt, debris or whatnot. So now we're gonna take our connectors. The ones for the passenger side is it's gonna be a smaller connector and smaller size hose, 3/8. And the driver's side, I actually just picked up this hose, which is gonna be bigger. It's a 5/8 hose. Unless I'm making a mistake, I'm gonna double check and hopefully it fits. Actually, this comes with a small rubber ring, so I'm gonna put a rubber ring over here, and now we're gonna put a Teflon tape around it and screw it tight in here. So I'm gonna do that for both catch cans, and we're almost ready to install it. Now you wanna make sure that you put the Teflon tape only around the threads, and now let's just put this inside there and make it tight. Just like that. So now I'm gonna repeat procedure for all of them. Okay. And this is all done. One thing I would recommend is to put a lot of this Teflon tape, a lot of this plumber tape over here, because the threads, I felt they kinda too big or something. I don't know, but just put a lot of it, just to be on the safe side. So now I'm gonna assemble my brackets and I'm gonna install them inside. So now is my M5 bolts, washers and lug nuts. I'm gonna secure it all and we're gonna mount it over here. And I think that's gonna be pretty good. Alright, so both catch cans are done, assembled. So now I'm gonna open up the hood, install them, make sure that I can still close the hood. Maybe I need to adjust this. That's why I made a new hole to bring it lower, but I feel like it should be fine. And then we can start routing our hoses. So now with M6 nut, lug washer and the washer, I'm gonna secure it over here to these two posts, and I hope that it's all gonna line up and it's all gonna work just perfect. And that sits there pretty good. I like it. And I still have a lot of clearance over here. The hood will not interfere with that. So now I'm gonna put the second one. So now gonna be one of the hardest parts probably is to get our hose from here, which we have to disconnect from here and just follow it back. It's behind the engine over there, it's kind of hard to see, and disconnect it from over there, get our new hoses and connect it over here. So that one over there, it's probably gonna give us most trouble to disconnect, but we'll see what we can do. And actually already just by looking at this hose connection over here, it looks kind of oily to me, so the oil catch can is really needed. So now I'm gonna undo this hose, take it out, and we're gonna start routing our new hoses here. So let's see if we can take this one out with some of the ease, but nothing is ever easy anyway, so Now this hose is super tough to take out. It's very hard and doesn't flex too much, but as you can see, I hope you guys can see, there is actually a lot of oil over here, so catch can is definitely needed. And just gotta be careful with this, don't break this. This is plastic, you don't want to break this. But yeah, but this is nothing. Now I have to fight with that end of the cable over there and somehow remove it from over there. So I'm not gonna record that because I know I'm gonna be struggling, fighting and getting frustrated. But once I remove this, we put a new cable, and then we'll take care of the connection over there. Okay guys, this is a hose right here. We got a disconnect. I don't know, I'm trying to record this with my phone just to show you guys right here. I cannot even see what I'm pointing over there, but and hopefully it's in focus, but right here. So right here, this hose, I removed this clamp, and then just with channel locks I broke it loose, and now it's just back and forth motion with taking it out, and it's out. And as you can see guys, there's oil in there as well. So now we're gonna take this hose out and redirect our new hose, connect it in here, clamp it, and we're gonna bring it to our catch can. So now I'm gonna take my 3/8 new hose, and I'm gonna run a new line from the engine over there, the one that's hard to reach. Gonna go somewhere around here, and we're gonna go into in, and then there is a second line out, gonna come back and gonna go in here in the air intake. So this is the plan. So measure the hoses right now, cut them and interconnect this. So this is pretty much how much I need, which is about 42 inches to go from behind the engine into here. So now I'm gonna cut it. I left it a little bit more, so in case I need to reroute it nicely, but the extra slack we can cut all this later anyways. So now let's see if I can put this back in there in place and put this clamp on. I decided to leave this clamp, it seems like a nice clamp, and I also left this sock over here from the old hose. So let's see if I can put this inside there again. And okay guys, as you can see, the new hose is in place and the clamp is on it. So I made a little bit of a loop over here so it doesn't kink, doesn't bend. Then I reuse this sock and this clamp over here, and the new hose is just gonna run along the side over here, and I'm gonna connect it over here, and I think it's just perfect. Now over here you can put our clamp and slide this over. Alright, and let's make this tight. And that should be good. Now I'm gonna run the second hose from here back to over here, and this side is done. Alright, that should be good. I'm also gonna zip tie this cable so they don't bounce around, but this should be good. So now let's work on the driver's side, which should be much easier, hopefully. Alright, so let's remove our Z1 brand new hose. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be using that anymore. Slide it off over here. Slide it off over here. Alright, and it's out. Let's slide this in, and let's see how we're gonna route this, which I think this is gonna be just like that. And a second hose I'm probably gonna route just like this, not to create any sharp turns. It's just gonna have a little loop over here like that. I mean, in my case there is nothing I can do, so I cannot just make a sharp turn here. So I don't really want to go under this either, which I could have, but I don't want to. And this 5/8 hose fits very snug on a connector over here and over here. These connectors, it's slightly too big, or should I say these connectors are slightly too small. I'm gonna try to see if I can find them online slightly bigger, and I add this in description, but for now I'm just gonna make this tight and keep an eye on it. Hopefully I don't think it's gonna create any issues or anything. But this hose, just gonna round it like that. This is fine, and this is gonna be like this, just like that, and I'm gonna cut them both right now. There we go. Now let's put this in place, and let's do the same for a second hose. In total I bought 5 feet of this 5/8 hose and I'm pretty much used all of it, so that's fine. Let's put it over here and now let's make everything tight. Both catch cans are successfully installed. I think it was a success. I think they came out pretty good. I routed all the hoses. These hoses are done as well. I did put a zip tie over here to hold it in place so this doesn't bounce around, as this hose is a little bit too stiff and it was just a little bit in the air, but I think it's not too bad like that. I made all the clamps tight. Like I said, over here and over here it sits very snug. Over here it's slightly loose, but I just made these clamps tight, so hopefully that's gonna be alright. Gonna keep an eye on it and gonna let you guys know. But other than that, it's all done. It's not a long project or anything. If you have a plan where you're gonna put the catch cans, if you have a original air intake, you still can put 2 catch cans. You just put them in a different place. You can put one over here and second one you can put somewhere over here. It's no big deal. So there's many ways to put them. But I just wanted to have them over there, and it's all done now. Much later. So as you can see, I have 2 catch cans already installed, but I'm gonna be replacing them for 2 red catch cans. I think that will look better because I have some red over there, and I'm actually gonna be replacing these hoses as well. Now the kit comes with some connectors. That's pretty much the only thing we're gonna use, the catch can and connectors. The hose that it comes with is really not good, and this part I don't feel too confident about putting this in. I already had these catch cans installed here actually for already 4 months, so today is gonna be a good time to open them up and see how much oil we have inside them, just to see how well does it work, how much does it collect oil in a period of 4 months. So let's unscrew this and let's see how much oil we have there. All right, wow, that's a lot of oil. So this is after 4 months of driving. I did quite a bit of miles in this period of time. Unfortunately I didn't clock how many miles it was, but it was 4 months period. So yeah, that's quite a lot of miles. So now I'm gonna check the second catch can. Well, the second catch can is completely empty. It's completely dry. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe this one was not necessary at all. I mean, I saw some people use it, so I figured why not, because they were saying under extreme condition it might work, it might not work, but it's clean. I mean, it's good, I guess. So now I'm gonna replace the catch cans and I'm gonna replace my hoses. Alright guys, intake cans are replaced. So now I'm gonna replace these boring looking black hoses for these 2 hoses that I got. This one is a 10mm and this is a 13mm thickness. Both of them are 10 feet long. So now I'm just simply gonna take these ones out, measure the same lengths because now I know this is a perfect length for over here. Cut with these ones and put those in place.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, all the hoses are replaced and I think it looks much better now. Maybe eventually, hopefully, I don't know, I can replace all the hoses for red. I mean, why not? Some of them are new, but some of them are getting old and they might be due for replacement. And if I'm replacing them, why not to replace them for red ones? So, but this is done. And I still have a little bit left of each hose, and 10 feet is more than enough to complete this job. Alright guys, another project successfully done. I mean, I had to do it twice, but it got done. So as always, I'm gonna leave all the links in the description to the catch cans, the one I use, and the 2 hoses for each side. But in your case, it might not be necessary. 1 catch can may be more than enough for you guys. That way it's even gonna be cheaper. So on this note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you might find it helpful, and as always, until next time, everybody, bye.